That breakfast you've been eating since you were 20? It might be aging you faster than anything else in your day. You wake up. The house is quiet. You shuffle into the kitchen, pour that first cup of coffee, and reach for the same breakfast you've been eating for years. The one the box told you was heart healthy. The one you thought was doing you a favor. But lately, something feels off, doesn't it? By 10 a.m., the brain fog rolls in. Your joints ache a little more than they used to. You feel a quiet exhaustion settling into your bones, and you wonder, is this just what getting older feels like? Is this just 50? 60? I used to think so too. Until I realized we've been sold a very profitable lie about the first meal of the day. Here's the truth. Your morning routine isn't just feeding you. It's either repairing your cells or it's quietly accelerating your aging process. Today, we're going to dismantle the American breakfast. I'm going to show you 5 things you need to start eating tomorrow morning and 4 things you need to throw out today, including one so-called healthy staple that's secretly wrecking your metabolism. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside us once we cross that invisible line into our 50s and 60s. For a long time, I thought slowing down was just the price of admission for getting older. You probably feel it too. The stiffness in the morning, the way one bad night of sleep seems to drag on for days. Before we go any further, I want to be upfront about something. I'm sharing this to educate, to pull back the curtain on how our bodies actually work. This isn't a medical prescription. It's exhausted from processing the massive loads of carbs we force into it every single morning. Here's the part most people never hear. Your pancreas is essentially shouting to be heard. Early on, it just whispers a little insulin, and your cells listen right away. But after years of sugar spikes, morning after morning, those cells stop responding to a whisper. So your pancreas has to shout louder, pumping out more and more insulin just to get the same job done. That's exhausting work, and it's happening inside you right now, silently, every single day. It's a big part of why that 3 o'clock craving for something sweet hits so hard. Your body isn't asking for sugar because you lack willpower. It's asking because your blood sugar just crashed from the last spike, and it's desperate for a quick fix. When you eat that same bagel today, the one the packaging swears is low-fat and heart-healthy, your body doesn't burn it for energy. It panics. It stores it as fat, usually right around your waistline. And worse, it leaves your blood flooded with sugar. That heavy brain fog you feel at 10:30 in the morning, that sudden, overwhelming urge to sit down, that's not just aging. That's your brain struggling to run on the wrong fuel. So the very first thing we need to kick out of our mornings is the illusion of the healthy American bakery breakfast. The blueberry muffins wrapped in plastic, the dense bagels, the instant oatmeal packets that taste like maple syrup and brown sugar. We need to stop calling these things breakfast. They're dessert. They're engineered to spike your blood sugar, hand you a fleeting moment of pleasure, and then drop you off a cliff 2 hours later. You crash, you feel wiped out, and you reach for another cup of coffee just to make it to lunch. It's a cycle of manufactured exhaustion. We have to break that cycle. And to do it, we go back to the foundation. The very first food you need to bring back to your morning table is the egg. For decades, we were told to fear the egg. We were told to order egg whites only and skip the yolk because of cholesterol. It was, hands down, one of the most damaging nutrition myths of our lifetime. We traded the perfect natural protein of an egg for highly processed, sugar-loaded cereals, and we got sicker, heavier, and more tired for it. Here's why the whole egg is absolutely non-negotiable for us now. There's a quiet thief that steals our independence as we age. It's called sarcopenia, the gradual, silent loss of muscle mass. You don't notice it in the mirror at first. You notice it when a jar is suddenly too hard to open. You notice it when getting out of a deep chair takes just a little more effort, or when your balance feels a split second off. To fight that, to hold on to the strength that keeps you independent, your body desperately needs high-quality protein. The egg is nature's most perfect protein package, but it's more than just muscle fuel. That yolk you were told to toss? It's packed with choline, a nutrient that's absolutely crucial for your brain. It protects your memory, sharpens your focus, and helps clear away that morning fog. When you start your day with 2 whole eggs, maybe cooked in a little real butter or olive oil, you're sending your body a signal of safety. You're giving it steady, quiet energy that doesn't spike your blood sugar. You stay full. You stay sharp. But eating the right protein won't change a thing if your body has lost the ability to properly absorb it. And that brings us to a pretty uncomfortable truth about our digestion as we age. There's a specific food that can heal this, but most Americans are grabbing the completely wrong version of it, falling for a clever grocery store trick that's actually making their gut worse. Walk down the dairy aisle of any American grocery store. It stretches half the length of the building. Hundreds of plastic cups, brightly colored foil lids, all promising gut health, promising vitality. Yogurt. We've been told for years that as we age, we need probiotics, and that part is completely true. But pick up one of those cups, the ones with the fruit at the bottom, the ones that say low fat in big, bold letters. Flip it over and read the ingredient list. 15, sometimes 20 grams of added sugar. They took a fermented healing food that human beings have eaten for centuries, stripped out the natural fats that keep your brain healthy, and swapped them for the exact same high fructose corn syrup you'd find in a can of soda. It's a brilliant marketing trick, and it's quietly wrecking the gut health of millions of Americans over 50. Here's what happens to our digestion as the years go by. The environment inside your stomach changes. Acid levels drop a little. The community of bacteria in your gut, your microbiome, starts to lose its diversity. That's exactly why foods that never bothered you in your 30s suddenly leave you feeling bloated, heavy, or just plain uncomfortable today. Your body is struggling to pull the nutrients out of what you eat. You could be eating the perfect diet and still be starving on a cellular level, simply because your gut can't absorb it. Here's something worth paying attention to. Notice how your mood shifts depending on what you've eaten that day. On days when you eat clean, real food, you probably feel steadier, calmer, more like yourself. But on days loaded with sugar and processed carbs, that low-grade irritability or anxious edge creeps in, and it feels like it's coming out of nowhere. It's not random. There's a direct line of communication running between your gut and your brain. When your gut is inflamed by sugar, your mind feels foggy and on edge. When your gut is calm and balanced, your mind follows right along with it. To fix this, we need the real thing. Plain, unsweetened, full-fat Greek yogurt, not the regular stuff. The Greek straining process removes the excess liquid, leaving behind a dense, thick foundation of pure protein and live cultures. It's tangy. It's real. When you eat it, you're not just feeding your stomach, you're repopulating the good bacteria that help you break down food, absorb your vitamins, and yes, even regulate your mood. But Greek yogurt alone isn't enough. It needs a partner. It needs something to help carry it through your system. That brings us to the third food you need to bring back into your morning routine, and the second massive deception hiding in the American breakfast aisle. Fiber. But not the kind that comes in a cardboard box with a cartoon mascot on the front. For years, the American Heart Association and every doctor in the country told us to eat oatmeal to lower our cholesterol. So what did we do? We bought instant oatmeal, packets full of pulverized oats, dehydrated apple bits, and brown sugar. We poured boiling water over it and called it health food. Those instant oats are so heavily processed that your body treats them almost exactly like a bowl of white sugar. They spike your insulin, then leave you hungry again an hour later. We have to go deeper. We need to find the part of the oat that's actually doing the work. We need oat bran. Oat bran is the outer casing of the oat groat. It's the armor, and it's packed with a very specific kind of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Picture beta-glucan as a microscopic sponge. When you eat it, it moves slowly through your digestive tract and literally binds to the cholesterol in your system, pulling it out of your body before it has a chance to settle into your arteries. It's quiet, mechanical work. It lowers your LDL cholesterol naturally. It stabilizes your blood sugar so well that you'll glance at the clock at 1 in the afternoon and realize you haven't even thought about lunch yet. So now we've got the egg for muscle and brain health. We've got the Greek yogurt to heal the gut. We've got the oat bran to sweep out the arteries. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about time. You're thinking about how you're actually supposed to pull this together on a Tuesday morning when you're rushing out the door, or when you just want something that tastes like the breakfast you grew up loving. You don't want a bowl of plain bran and eggs every single day. You want a pancake, and that's exactly what we're going to make. But not the kind that puts you right back to sleep. We're going to take these exact ingredients, add one ancient seed that works like joint lubrication, and create something that's going to change your mornings for good. The secret lies in a seed that has been cultivated for thousands of years, long before we started engineering our food in laboratories. I'm talking about flaxseed, but there's a very specific way you have to consume it, or it's completely useless to your body. If you eat whole flax seeds, they'll simply pass right through your digestive system intact. You get nothing from them. They have to be ground. When you mill flaxseed, you unlock one of the most concentrated sources of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids on Earth. To understand why this is so critical for us right now, we need to talk about how aging actually feels. It's not just a number, it's inflammation. Inflammation is the medical term, but you know it by its real names. It's the hesitation you feel before walking down a steep flight of stairs. It's the stiffness in your knuckles when you try to open a jar. It's that dull, persistent ache in your lower back when you stand up from the couch. Here's something else worth noticing. Think back to your 30s when you could go for a long walk, do some yard work, or play a round of golf and feel completely fine the next morning. Now that same activity can leave you sore for 2 or 3 days afterward. That's not just about being out of shape. That's inflammation slowing down your recovery time, making it harder for your body to bounce back the way it used to. The good news is, this is exactly the kind of thing that can improve once you give your body what it actually needs. Think of your joints like the hinges on a heavy oak door. Over the decades, the metal gets dry. It starts to catch, it starts to grind. Sugar and processed carbohydrates are like throwing sand into those hinges. Omega-3 fatty acids are the oil. They quietly reduce the systemic fire burning inside your body. They lubricate the joints. They protect the delicate lining of your blood vessels. So let's build this breakfast. Let's take back your Sunday mornings and your Tuesday mornings without the guilt and without the pain. In a small bowl, crack 2 whole eggs. That's your foundation, the muscle armor and the brain food. Next, add a 1/4 cup of oat bran. That's your beta-glucan sponge, ready to sweep the cholesterol from your system. Then add 1 heaping tablespoon of ground flaxseed. The oil for your joints, whisk it all together. If you want, throw in a dash of real cinnamon. And I don't just mean for the taste. Cinnamon is a fascinating spice. It actually helps blunt the insulin response in your blood, making this meal even more stable for your energy levels. Pour that batter into a warm pan with just a touch of real butter or olive oil. It cooks in 3 minutes. It looks like a pancake. It tastes like a pancake. But biologically, it's a shield. Now we arrive at the trap. This is where most people ruin a perfectly good breakfast. You put this beautiful healing food on a plate, and then you reach into the fridge for the syrup. Traditional maple syrup, even the pure kind, is a massive load of liquid sugar. But the commercial syrups, the ones most Americans grew up pouring over their plates, are even worse. They're nothing but high fructose corn syrup, artificial caramel coloring, and chemical preservatives. And please, don't be fooled by the sugar-free diet syrups either. Those are chemical cocktails that confuse your liver and disrupt the very gut microbiome we're trying to heal with our Greek yogurt. We don't need factories to sweeten our food. Nature already got it right. Take half of a very ripe banana. The riper it is, the sweeter it gets as the starches convert into natural sugars. Mash it with a fork until it turns into a paste and spread it over your pancake. Or grab a handful of frozen blueberries, which are packed with antioxidants that literally fight cellular rusting. Warm them up in a small pot for 2 minutes until they burst, and pour that right over the top. You're eating a pancake with sweet fruit on it. It feels like a treat. But underneath, your body is getting exactly the building blocks it needs to repair muscle, clear your arteries, and lubricate your joints. You walk away from the table feeling light, sharp, and genuinely satisfied. You've fixed the food, you've built the perfect morning plate. But there's a dark horse in your morning routine. A liquid you're probably drinking right alongside this meal. And depending on what you're putting into that cup, you're either amplifying all this healing or you're wiping it out completely before the day even gets started. We need to talk about your coffee. For most of us, the day doesn't really start until we hear that coffee maker gurgling or feel the warmth of the mug in our hands. Coffee itself isn't the enemy here. In fact, black coffee is rich in antioxidants and can actually support brain health as we age. The problem is what we've been conditioned to dump into it. Look inside the fridge of just about any American home, and you'll find a plastic bottle of flavored coffee creamer. French vanilla, hazelnut, caramel macchiato. We pour it in until the coffee turns this pale, comforting shade of beige. But if you actually read the label on those creamers, you'll rarely find real cream in there at all. What you'll find is water, sugar, and partially hydrogenated soybean or canola oil. You're pouring liquid, inflammatory fat, and refined sugar straight into your bloodstream first thing in the morning. It completely undoes the work of the oat bran. It spikes your insulin before you've even taken a bite of your pancake. And if you're swinging by the drive-thru at a coffee chain, you're often drinking the caloric equivalent of a milkshake, dressed up as a morning pick-me-up. If you want to protect your metabolism, you've got to take your coffee back. If you can't drink it black, use a splash of real heavy cream or unsweetened almond milk. No syrups, no artificial sweeteners messing with your gut. Just the real thing. You know, if you're still here with me, listening to all this, that tells me something about you. It tells me you're not willing to just accept the decline that society expects of us. You're looking for the truth about your health. If that's the case, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. We have these conversations every day, and it would be an honor to have you walking this path with us. Now, before you even touch that coffee, before you even start cooking the eggs or the oat bran, there's one final step. It's the easiest thing in the world, and yet almost nobody does it right. You have to flush the system. While you were sleeping those 7 or 8 hours, your body was hard at work. Your liver was filtering toxins. Your brain was clearing out cellular waste. But your body used up its water reserves to do it. You wake up chronically dehydrated, even if you don't feel thirsty. And here's why that matters more than most people realize. Blood is mostly water, and when you're running low on it, your blood actually thickens up, almost like syrup instead of flowing smoothly like it should. That means your heart has to work a little harder just to push it through your body, and it can leave you feeling sluggish and heavy before your day has even really started. It's one more quiet strain your body doesn't need. Now, I'm not a doctor, and if you're already managing something like blood pressure, this is exactly the kind of thing worth bringing up with your own physician. But for most of us, this is simply about giving the body what it needs to run smoothly. When you pour coffee, a diuretic, into a body that's already dehydrated, you're forcing your kidneys to work overtime on top of that thicker blood you're already dealing with. Tomorrow morning, before anything else, I want you to drink 1 big glass of room temperature water. Not ice cold, which shocks the stomach, but room temperature. Think of it as washing the internal windows. It wakes up your digestive tract. It signals to your metabolism that the fast is over. It clears the pathways so that when you do eat that perfect protein-rich breakfast, your body is actually ready to absorb it. We've dismantled the lies of the bakery aisle. We've brought back the egg, the Greek yogurt, the oat bran, and the flaxseed. We fixed the coffee, but there's one last piece to this puzzle, because knowing what to eat is only half the battle. The real transformation happens when you understand how to eat it and what it actually means for the years you still have ahead of you. We spend so much of our lives rushing through the morning. For decades, we treat breakfast like an inconvenience, a quick pit stop to quiet our stomachs before the real demands of the day kick in. We grab whatever's fastest, whatever's wrapped in plastic, whatever gives us that immediate, fleeting rush of energy. But once you cross into your 50s, and certainly into your 60s, the math of your life fundamentally shifts. Time stops being some infinite resource you spend carelessly. It becomes something you fiercely want to protect. And the quality of that time depends entirely on the physical vessel you're living in. Think about what we actually covered today. We didn't just talk about swapping a blueberry muffin for an egg, or trading artificial syrup for mashed banana. We talked about changing the biological instructions you're sending to your cells every single morning. For years, without even realizing it, you might have been waking up and telling your body to panic. By eating those processed carbs and hidden sugars, you were flooding your bloodstream, spiking your insulin, and starving your muscles of the high-quality protein they desperately needed to keep you strong. You were accepting the stiff joints, the heavy brain fog at 10 in the morning, and that quiet, lingering exhaustion as just the natural, unavoidable cost of getting older. But here's the truth that the medical establishment rarely has time to tell you. The human body is incredibly, almost miraculously forgiving. It doesn't want to be sick. It doesn't want to be tired. It's simply waiting for you to give it the right materials to rebuild. When you wake up tomorrow and drink that tall glass of room temperature water, you're wiping the slate clean. You're waking up your organs gently. When you take those 10 minutes to cook that longevity pancake, blending the oat bran, the eggs, and the ground flaxseed, you're doing something profound. You're feeding your brain the choline it needs to hold on to your most precious memories. You're giving your gut the environment it needs to heal and absorb nutrients. You're literally lubricating your joints with omega-3s. The transformation we're after here isn't about squeezing back into the clothes you wore in your 20s. That's a young person's game. This transformation is about quiet strength. It's about the fact that a month from now, you might bend down to pick up a heavy box, or get down on the floor to play with your grandchild, and suddenly realize you didn't hesitate. You didn't wince. You just moved. Maybe it's climbing a flight of stairs without needing to stop halfway to catch your breath. Maybe it's carrying in all the groceries from the car in one trip instead of two, without your back complaining about it the next day. Maybe it's simply standing up from a low chair without using your hands to push yourself up. These aren't small things. These are the everyday moments that quietly define whether you feel like you're aging with strength or aging with struggle. There's a deep, quiet dignity in taking control of your health as you get older. It's about preserving your independence. It's about making sure the next 20 or 30 years of your life aren't spent sitting in fluorescent-lit waiting rooms, but out in the world, living life on your own terms. The food industry is going to keep selling you convenience. They're going to keep slapping deceptive heart-healthy labels on boxes of sugar. But you see the board clearly now. You know that real foundational food doesn't need a marketing campaign. If this conversation resonated with you today, I've got a favor to ask. Think of 5 people in your life right now, friends, siblings, co-workers your age, who are struggling with their energy, their weight, or their joints, and who think it's just a normal part of getting older. Share this video with them. Send it right now. You have the power to change the trajectory of their health just by sharing the truth. And before you close out of this video, leave a comment down below. I don't want some generic comment. Be honest with me. Tell me what you're struggling with the most right now, and tell me exactly what topic you want us to dig into in the next video. I read every single one, and I build this channel around what you all actually need. Tomorrow morning, the sun's going to come up. The house is going to be quiet again. You're going to walk into your kitchen, and you're going to have a choice. Choose the foundation.